Hey y'all, Toad here, and got a bit of a tag video this time around. I was tagged by Stoneprepper. He's gonna be up there or around there somewhere. And his question it was about prepping. You know, what do I think of prepping? What is prepping to me? And that kind of thing. And well, I don't mean to sound like a heretic, but the word to me is just a descriptive word that somebody came up with to describe, something that's been out there for a long, long time. Um, you know, I talked with John Null about this. Yeah, John Null. John Null. Anyway, he and I spoke about this at length several months ago, and you know, as little as 3 years ago, there was no preppers, if you will. I mean, it's kind of a movement. It's kind of a name. It's a label, if you will. And I don't know where it come from. So many people have claimed to be the father of prepping that I certainly wouldn't want to be seen in public with a mother. But outside of a convenient way to describe a lifestyle, I mean, I don't even subscribe to the word. I really don't like it, to be honest with you. But what does it mean to me? Well, it just means somebody who spends a larger amount of time and effort than normal being ready for what may or may not occur in the future for them. Coming up, in a really, really modest lifestyle, not rich by any stretch of the imagination, I had to learn how to do stuff, how to work on cars, how to build, how to create situations for employment, how to create what I needed. Because I just never was in the situation where I could just go out and buy everything, No, I'm not a young man, so I have accumulated things now. But, even to this day, just as an example, our van blew its water pump like last Friday or something. It just started leaking, and we didn't take it to the dealer. We didn't take it to a mechanic. It's like, okay, put it in the yard and take the silly thing apart and swap the water pump out. Was the job a pain in the butt? Yeah. If you ever tried to replace something on the front of an engine in a relatively new van, it ain't like the old days. You got a lot of crap to get out. But the difficulty of the job wasn't the point. The point is that instead of spending, I don't know, probably between $500 and $600 to as high as $1,000 to have a mechanic, or certainly that much to have a dealer do it, it cost me, probably 3 hours of my time, and less than $100 for a new water pump and a serpentine belt. And being able to do that, putting yourself in a position to help yourself when something goes wrong, that's the essence of prepping to me, if you want to use that term. Like I said, when John and I talked about it, we actually prefer the phrase on our own. The whole idea of prepping now, thanks to the commercialization of the movement, has actually almost become cliched. And thanks to whichever freaking cable channel that was with that outrageously stupid doomsday thing, it's taken a lifestyle. And yeah, some people will argue that it made a lot of people think. I personally don't believe that. I think that show has actually done more harm than good, because sure, while some people may have been inspired to think about things that could go wrong and prepare for them, I don't think it taught as much as it helped out the merchants that sell crap to prep. And the whole prepping mercantile side of things has gone insane. I was watching a show the other day. It was a YouTube thing, and they were talking about prepping nothing but MREs and freeze-dried stuff. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, so if you want to be a prepper, you go out and buy this and buy that and buy this other thing and buy this other crap for sale and buy this other stuff these people say you need to have. And you get all this stuff. But what did you learn? Anybody can go out and buy Mountain Home or MREs or whatever and stick them in a box and leave them. That doesn't make you a prepper. That makes you a little more prepared, I suppose. And maybe that makes you a prepper in the pop culture prepper sense. But it really doesn't do a whole lot for you if you're on your own. If you're concerned about food, to me, you find ways to acquire food, treat food, store food, and then rotate your stock. And instead of, some people have a week's worth of food or a couple of weeks worth of food and they rotate it out. Yay, you're out of ketchup, get some more ketchup. The prepper might just say, well, I'll just have like 6 gallons of ketchup and cycle through that. Here at the house, we've gone through some pretty intense cycles, up and down, success, failure, good times, bad times, blah, blah, blah. And we feel pretty comfortable if we're sitting at about a year and a half, maybe a little bit more in some things, where if one of us got sick, hurt, or, we hit a serious financial bump in the road that lasted for months on end, 6 months, a year, we wouldn't go hungry. We'd stay strong. And that strength would allow us to be at our peak for solving the problem. So, maybe I'm getting off on a tangent here, but for Stoneprepper, prepping to me is being in a position at as many times as is physically and mentally possible to not only deal with bad things that may come along, but to try to be in a position to take advantage of opportunities too. Not be so far in debt that you can't take advantage of an opportunity that arises to purchase something or to invest in something, including yourself, taking classes, learning, maybe buying a piece of gear to accomplish something, to learn how to use it, to be able to take the time, not be so worried about seeing the latest television shows, having the latest clothes, driving the latest cars, all of that pop culture stuff. If you kind of own your own mortgage, and I mean that, figuratively as well as specifically, if you own your own time, then the opportunities that arise can be taken advantage of. But if you're stuck in some kind of rut, well, not only do you not have those opportunities, but man, if all you're doing is watching TV and listening to the radio and reading the newspapers and if you stay that stuck in pop culture, then not only are you not doing anything to really make yourself any stronger. I mean, knowing who won the last 3 American Idols might be fun around the coffee shop or, around the water cooler. But does it really make you any more interesting of a person? I guess that's personal, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. I'd rather learn how to hand sharpen a knife or, the ham radio thing, or learn how to work on the cars, which is, for me, that's been a bugaboo because I've just made the transition from the old style carbureted blah blah cars I've been working on for over 30 years into these computer driven cars with all this emissions crap and electronics and everything, which has been a nightmare. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, what does prepping mean to me? If you force me to use that word, what prepping really means to me, and as simply as I can put it, is prepping is taking more control back from pop culture. from the television culture, the movie culture, the music culture, all of this other crap, that keep in mind, when you're stuck in that, not only is your brain spinning in neutral, but you're a constant target of advertising. And anything, in my mind, if anything that takes you away from being bombarded by advertisers who are going to challenge your very value as a human being and tell you that you don't have enough value unless you have their product in one way, shape, or form. Excuse me. Anything that gets a person away from that and gives them more time to learn how to do the things that truly do make you more powerful, more self-sufficient, more prepared, right? Prepared, not only for the bad stuff, but to take advantage of good things. That's what it's all about to me. Does that mean I don't watch TV? No, it doesn't. I like a baseball game and a movie just as much as the next person. But it doesn't dominate my life. It's not something I look forward to. I think there's one television show. I'm one of them Walking Dead fans. So out of all the TV that runs 24 hours a day, blah, 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 that's the only show I watch. Try to, anyway. I've missed a couple episodes in this last deal. I was out of town. But the point being is that, I don't go and sit in front of the television every night at X amount of time. I don't really care what other people think is good. I don't care what the Nielsen rating says. I don't care what the ladies around the water cooler are saying is the show to watch, or, just like I don't care what people say the clothes to wear are, or the whatever the style and fashion of the time may be. I just couldn't care less. What I like to do is I like to poke around corners, I like to learn, and I like to take the power away from people that want to put me in a position to be dependent on them producing something, whether it be food or repairs for a car, or repairs around the house, or building around the house, all that stuff. The more of that I can gather to me, the more powerful I become. And that's kind of what I try and put forth on this channel, is to get people to take a peek at that, see what else can be done, and see that there's so many more ways to look around and have some fun without being tied to any kind of pop culture thing whose primary reason for existence is to advertise to you and to take your money, your savings, and to make you a slave to their temporary styles and fashions. So, there you go. Stoneprepper. Go check him out. Good friend of mine. Nice guy. Great family man. And take a peek at Stoneprepper's channel. If you like it, sub him. And either way, tell him Frog sent you and tell him Toad sent you. Frog's my roommate. And just tell him we said hi. And fair winds, y'all. We'll see you next time around.